I know y'all not used to seeing me. Y'all used to seeing my brother Jarue. My name Jamil. He gonna be here in a couple minutes. All right, let's get to it. Um, a little bit about myself. My name I've been on a couple podcasts with him before. We gonna keep it going just the same way he usually have it. Uh, Upcoming announcements. Free food on Friday, 60th and Market. Come get some fresh produce. My bad. How y'all doing? I know y'all not used to seeing my face. Y'all used to seeing Jarue. We gonna keep it going. He gonna be here in a couple minutes. Couple announcements. Fresh food, strawberries, tomatoes, lettuce, all fresh produce every Friday, 60th and Market, 11 a.m. I'm putting together a couple food drives. I just succeeded doing a food drive a week straight. Monday I was on 52nd and Market. Tuesday was Clark Park. Wednesday I took a break. Thursday I was on 58th in Baltimore and down the pit. And Friday I was down 60th and Market, and Saturday we was in front of Dobbins. Uh, Anybody that need any type food or anything like that, reach out to me. My Instagram is mill.215. I'm open to doing any type pop up food drives, anything like that. But hey, man, uh, my bad. And what else I'm open to doing? And anybody trying to get on their running stuff, holla at me. Cause I be BSing, but I really can run miles. Like I love running. I've been trying to get back onto my running game. I just recently tried to run. I did it in about 6 minutes, but I'm not really impressed by that because I usually do it by 5. So I'm looking to like get together like any type running group or anything like that. Um, just anything in the community. Just need to keep myself busy. Feel me? Uh, and then that's when here's our co-host right here as well.
What's going on, world? It's your favorite yoga soldier, aka the Yoga Broad, and I'm just here, sitting in here with my little bro, taking the time till our big bro gets here. You know, it's Philly service announcement, and they're all about the community, all about doing things, to just uplift our community. So I really appreciate Jarue and your whole crew, everybody. Y'all showed up for me at the Y. You know what I mean? So you guys are always doing amazing, 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 amazing things. And I like that you brought up that you want to do a running group. Me as a fitness professional, let me tell you something. Running is hard. It is hard.
It's all
I
a
call
mind
myself
game.
trying to do like a whole little running thing, like from my house to the Y. I think I ran. I wouldn't even call that running. I would call that speed jogging, maybe.
As long as your feet ain't stop
Or
moving, you
speed
cool.
walking. I don't know. But I might have done it like 2 days. What would advice would you give somebody like myself who's not an avid runner? I am a fitness person, but running is just not my strong suit. Like it's something that's really uncomfortable to do.
Um, First I would say that it's really all just a mind game. In all honesty, I would say consistency is key. Doesn't matter how fast you do it, or it really doesn't matter how fast you do it or who gets there first or anything. But as long as you tell yourself, all right, I got a little bit more to keep going, and then you just every day say you try to do that run. By that next week, you're gonna be like, all right, hey, I'm. By the time you time yourself, you're gonna be like, all right, I might run to work and then back.
Mm-hmm.
You might feel a little bit more comfortable doing it. I could say a couple challenges with the running is definitely hydration. Hydration is key.
Mm.
A lot of people don't know that they need to stretch. It's more important to stretch before and after you run.
As the yoga soldier, I definitely can attest to that.
It's definitely better to stretch before and after you run, but after is the most important because it gives your bones enough time to heal
Mm-hmm.
in case you can't ice it or anything like that. Um, and then also eat, and you would definitely have to eat.
I was gonna ask that. So would you recommend not eating before you run, or like what kind of foods would you recommend? Like, what do you do? What's your routine?
Okay, so I would definitely recommend. I wouldn't say like a heavy meal in your stomach because you wouldn't want it to kind of slow you down, but you definitely wouldn't want to run with nothing on your stomach because then you will get something called like a side stitch. And a side stitch, it'd be like
a cramp.
Yeah, literally just a cramp on your side, and it's only gonna hurt more and more as you stop. So I would recommend drinking about 2 bottles of water at least before you get your run started, or even when you wake up in the morning, drink a bottle of water. As you begin to start moving out the house, drink another bottle of water, just sip on that, and then by the time you get to work, you would be on your 3rd bottle of water. So I would definitely say hydrate, and then like I said, you wouldn't have to have a heavy meal, even something as simple as like a granola bar, or some type of fruit or anything like that. That's best for you because it will sit on your stomach. It's not like It's not like you're just running on E, because, like I said, you will get that side stitch. And running come with a lot as well. Like you definitely will want to avoid running on like a lot of concrete and stuff.
I was gonna ask that next. Like, how does it affect your knees? Do you recommend people run around a track versus running on the sidewalk? Like,
now, so I like running. So I've ran cross country myself. So a couple places I've ran like on the sidewalk. I would say I ran from 52nd and Woodland down to Front and South Street, back up to 62nd and Woodland. I also did even up here around here. I ran from Broad and Duncannon up to 69th and Ogontz, back down.
Have you ever done the Broad Street run?
I've never done the Broad Street run.
You owe it to yourself. You owe it to yourself to do it. You might. I mean, you probably have ran further than the actual damn Broad Street run.
Yeah, I was about like even cause I feel like my downfall. I'm just not as consistent as I used to. So being that, like when I was in high school, when I used to be running, I used to be running 5-minute miles flat, like easily, just on a calm jog. Or even my coach on a calm day, say we got a race the next day, he'll say run 4 miles and y'all gotta do it in 30 minutes, and we literally just gotta do it. So it's running from 17th and Allegheny up to Fox Street, up near Penn Charter. It's just about hydrating yourself. There's no way to avoid like stress fractures and shin splints and stuff like that because of the constant pounding on concrete. That's kind of what come with it. But I would say I definitely need to do that Broad Street run.
Come on, man, that's the challenge.
My brother need to do that.
Jarue, we just challenged him, and you're challenging him too, since I'm sitting in your seat. So that's why you have to do it. You heard it here first, people. All right, Broad Street run, Street run. You owe it to yourself.
Definitely.
Another thing that for running for me that I noticed, like the breathing, and it's crazy because I'm in meditation. I do all different types of breath work, but with running, I can't catch my breath. Like that slows me down, and then I get this weird feeling in my gums, like they almost feel like they're going to bleed. And so, Big Bro made it. He doesn't need me anymore. I was just filling in the gaps till he got here. Hey, we going. I'm going to stay as long as you want me to.
You know what I'm saying? So I got my mans and I'm in the crib. You know what I'm saying?
We in here. What's up?
My God. I'm a little ashy, but they can't see that. But that means I've been in the shower.
You ain't got to tell nobody.
You know what I'm saying? That means I've been in the shower. Shower's a good thing. Some of these black people out here that I love, get them in the shower.
Well, there's a saying. You could go from ashy to classy. You know? I
mean, we doing some things.
Yeah.
So real quick, because I do got some questions for both of y'all.
Ask them.
So the first thing we're going to do is this is PSA, Philly Service Announcement, Takeover Tuesday, Takeover Love, Support, Grace, Social, Active Resources, and Art. I love black people. Shout out to my man, Kane. I'm definitely going to tap in with him. You know what I'm saying? He been on the show. We had a lot of things transpire in our lives over the last 6 months. We're going to talk about that. On the other side, everything ain't for everybody. And I do tell a lot of my business, but sometimes you can't tell your business because other people's business is involved. So you just don't say nothing. You know what I'm saying? And we'll talk about it when we talk about it.
Silence.
Exactly. Everything don't got to be said. As much as we got the camera, the microphone, the phone in our face right now, You don't have to say everything. You don't have to record everything. You don't. Get some privacy back. I want a little bit of privacy back.
Yeah.
It's possible. So can both of y'all introduce yourselves real quick? You know, whoever want to start first.
Ladies first, I guess. So
Yes, please do that.
hey y'all, it's Nelly, the yoga soldier, aka the yoga broad, from the Think Outside the Box crew. I'm here with my bros.
You know, it's the boiled milk. My bad.
He about to introduce you.
My fault, bro.
Yeah, my name Mel. You feel me? I do the food drives, do running.
Mm-hmm.
I really just be laid back. I be chilling for real.
Yeah, this gang right here, that's family right there. And I do gotta say this, man. I'm really, really, really proud of the food. Y'all doing the food, man. Like, that's something that I think people don't really recognize. You know, food insecurity is a thing. We have so many other issues. Folks are not getting the food the way and it's a lot of food. And I think that's the craziest thing about it. Like, the thing about America in and of itself is y'all know that America actually produces more than enough food for nobody ever to be hungry ever. You probably don't really got to go to the supermarket. Just to be honest, how much food is wasted. You know, food is used for all. And then is the food real? But that's a whole nother conversation. But there is enough food for everybody. So what we try to do, you know what I'm saying, and I appreciate my brother doing it too, is, you know, it's a lot of people that's food insecure. And they be needing it. And there's a lot of different reasons why people can't get access to the food that is there and very available. And then the other thing I would like for us to definitely understand, and I think me and my brother, he might not remember it or not, but I was telling a lot of us, like, doing the food is also an environmental justice thing, because what do we do with food waste? A lot of this food that we give out, because people don't have access to it, it's waste. It becomes food waste that can be regenerative.
Why isn't they going to the shelters
but that's the thing. Like, they get certain amounts of food, and then you got a lot of folks that's just not in the shelters. Like, that's a big issue with Philly in and of itself. We talk about a lot of different things, but homelessness is still the thing. Housing insecurity is still the thing that, for me, is pushing everything else. And housing insecurity leads directly, for me, not rental. Why people don't own enough homes? Why people don't have enough equity in America? That's how we start your American dream, is a home. So the further you keep people away from even the opportunity to buy their first home, that's a housing insecurity issue too, that people don't have the ability to enter into the game the way they say we supposed to enter into the game. Buy your first home, which is equity. You refinance. You got some money to play with. You might want to, you know what I mean?
A lot of people don't know the first steps to take to get a home. No, they don't know all the little tricks and I'm stuttering. They don't know all, like, the little tricks and stuff with your credit and how you need to get, like, business loans and all this other type.
It's
stuff.
intimidating, especially for people who might come from generation after generation of people with bad credit. A lot of brown people sometimes think cash is king. If I can afford to buy it, I don't need credit. You know, when credit is very important. My mom, for instance, if I didn't know better, I would never want to buy a house either. My mom used to say, I don't ever want to buy no house, because if I need something fixed, all I got to do is call my landlord. And a lot of people think that way. Even people who have inherited properties from their grandparents or parents sell those properties to the investors that are now gentrifying your neighborhoods. And the sad part is, now they're making the rental market so crazy based on income that if you make $1 over, you don't qualify for this unit. That's insane. How is it that I can make too much to not be approved for an apartment? I got good credit. I never had no evictions, but I make $1 over and I can't get this unit. So it's like you're creating an even crazier housing crisis, because people who can afford to live in units are still not getting approved because they make too much.
So the thing is, like, so when they say that they're going to do, like, mixed income housing, they'll have, like, luxury apartments and, you know, joints like that, but it'll have a price cap on how much you can make to qualify to be into this apartment. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I can afford to live here, but I'm not in the tier, so now I got to find somewhere else.
And more than likely, it's going to be way more.
Right.
So it's almost like they're setting people up to where you really have to just live paycheck to paycheck. You literally only going to make enough just to pay your rent.
Or you brown person, get out.
We don't want you here.
We're also telling you that. I know you lived here for a long time. Your grandmother's grandmother lived on this block in the P. But you got to go.
But you got to go.
I'm sorry. You got to go. You don't fit in the tier. You make money, but not enough.
No.
And then you make a little too much to fit in the tier because we want to make it look good. Because that's the fake making it look good, John. It'll be a certain group of people that's able to live in this community that's overpriced now. And they in this little...
And then they're not paying taxes. Shout out to Sister Khadijah because we were talking about this earlier, and these investors are buying up these properties with 10-year tax abatements that are not going into our school districts, not going into our schools. So these people that are moving into our neighborhoods are not sending their kids to the city school that's in their district. They're sending their kids to private schools.
Shout out to Mayor Nutter.
And not paying taxes. So, like, it's crazy, like, how things in this city are designed. And as a person of color and a mother and all these things, even as a child who's now a caregiver of my mother, like there's so many issues that us brown folks have to deal with. In all honesty, they don't have our best interests, from housing to health to everything. So
we have the actual special guy. Like, I like y'all. Y'all was cool. Y'all was nice.
You know.
It's like, nah. So this is folks right here. Can we get a microphone for folks? So folks, because I don't like introducing people because I don't want to mess anybody's name up.
He told me not to.
Oh.
Do you want your guests to take the center seat? Yeah, let's go.
I don't want you to go anymore.
You don't want me to go? Okay. I'll sit on the side. You don't need to. And you got the right sweatshirt on. Burgundy. I'm talking about.
This is real TV. Ain't everything with the camera TV now, y'all?
Absolutely.
I can call everything TV as long as it's a camera. You feel what I'm saying? So we're gonna get right into who this person is who just popped up on the scene. You allow them know who you are. A very important person in our city.
For sure. What's up, y'all? I'm Britt Christopher, from North Philadelphia. I work with the Transforming Justice Hub, so we train young people and educate them in the history of systematic oppression, redlining, food deserts, racism, shit like that. We allowed to cuss?
Yeah, all day.
Oh, all right, bet.
No censoring here.
So,
whatever you want to say, you say.
So we train young people in resolving conflict, being young leaders in their community, and also provide healing spaces to young people impacted by gun violence. Whether you witnessed it, been a part of it, any way, shape, or form, we want to heal the city over here.
So our connection, because I don't want to get away from that, and people definitely need to know our connection is just we live in this city. We got a lot of similar background things that land us in this space with CNC. And I know we ran into each other before, but then this was like an opportunity for us to work together. So CNC is Care Not Control.
Absolutely.
We trying to get that out there because a lot of young folks don't know that it's a group or organization, a coalition of folks that's working to abolish, not find alternatives, not find some nice place to be that seemed just like it, but we want to abolish. We will abolish. We talked about it yesterday. Yes, we can make those type of determinations. We decided that we're gonna have a time frame. We're not gonna give it to everybody. But
yeah, we ain't gonna reveal.
The big thing is we want everybody, especially young folks, knowing that it's an organization out here that wants to, a coalition that will abolish juvenile detention. We have enough evidence to show juvenile detention. No detention works, but we're staying squarely on juvenile detention doesn't work. We have enough years of abuses that's highly documented at a high level and still rolling out. Lawsuits are still rolling these things out. And we just know from statistics on what happens to young folks, where they land after detention, all of that, it just don't work. It don't work. So that's where we meet at as far as our collaboration, connection. It's where Care Not Control. Shout out to all the, advisory board members. So did you know about Care Not Control beforehand? Was it something like you seek them out when the opportunity presented itself? Like, how did you, or was it just something that popped up, somebody told you about it and you stepped into it?
For sure, absolutely. So I've been following Care Not Control for a couple years now, actually. I learned about them through Juvenile Law Center, couple years back, they did collaboration where they was like in conversation with each other. I was like busy with life stuff. I was working with Drexel, the Center of Nonviolent Social Justice. I was doing different stuff in that area, with healing the community. And then when I seen Care Not Control was like looking for more folks, I was like, yo, this where I belong. One of my top goals outside of healing my people and the community, the second goal is to abolish the police, the criminal legal system, especially for young folks. No kid deserved to be incarcerated. No kid deserved to be taken out their home. We need to find better solutions for that. So yeah.
So yeah, and we not wavering on that. We had
At
a
all.
conversation about it, and we know how everything in America politic, if you want to call it that, has this erosion part to it. When you first step to people with an issue, America, just in the way that it sets up, has a whole bunch of people that try to erode the issue. So by the time you get to the point where you can fight about the issue, like literally actually physically fight, if that's what it comes to, the issue is so watered down. Now we question, should we even fight for this? Should we put that much energy into it? And they do that with so many things. They do it in the criminal justice system. They do in civic law. They do it in contract law, how legislation, however you want. Even when we do business with each other, it's like this thing where we have to come to each other and say, I'm gonna push all of it, and then we'll water it down to find out where it's at. Like, I'm gonna tell you it's worth 100,000 so we can get to the point where it's at. Where we at 60 or 50, we can't get the 100 for it though.
You can't get the 100. You always gotta bring it down a little bit. Something I notice about these systems is you gotta, when you can have an overall arching goal, what you want to do, what you believe, what you know is right, even though the moves you gotta make to get it done. But it's always that word game, that convincing game, that figuring out like, all right, I know they won't give us the grant for 100K, so we gonna go in there and we gonna ask them for 40. We gonna see it work. We gonna tell them our little logic model, our little plan. We gonna see if we make some shit shake. And then maybe if they fucking with it, we do good, then we can spin the block. But I think we should jump more so into a society where we all know what's going on. I know what the issue is. You know, I don't even know you, brother, but I know you know what's going on right now. Our government know the issues, the school system, everybody know what the problem is. Even the people running for election right now know what the issue is. But ain't nobody trying to actually move to address those problems. We know how to handle certain things. We at the point where someone can like say it and be like, yeah, that's what we gotta do, okay? Now, where's the action? What's the results? What we about to do to actually make this shit shake?
So one of the things that I know that we're moving on is that the branding of it. Like letting a lot more young, because we talked about this, like I don't think young people, if you told them you had a movement towards ending juvenile detention, I don't think it would be a whole bunch of young people that wouldn't be enthusiastic about that. Wouldn't it at least pique their interest? Like what? It's some people out there that's trying to end it all together. Like, and you know the type of questions young folks gonna be asking, the same thing everybody else gonna ask. So what is the alternative? What is the thing that y'all gonna try to? Is they gonna send them the group? Where are they gonna send them at? You mean so? Is nobody gonna get in trouble for that? Like you gonna go through all? But I'm not gonna hear anybody say, I don't really care about that.
Absolutely, yeah.
I'm not going to get that. So one of the things that we are trying to do and we are going to do is get the branding out so more people can know, more young people can know what Care Not Control is. And you know, we got some ideas behind that. Can we put some of those ideas out? No,
For sure. I believe so. So a few of the ideas, if you're in Philadelphia, you know the little shiesty band going on right now to target our young children at the moment. So one of those things is we're planning on creating shiesty for Care Not Control. It lets you know who we are, what we stand for, and also give you a QR code and a link to our website where we want to distribute this out to the young people, let them know like we stand with y'all. We not with that the bans and all the other policies that's being created to like control and like marginalize our young people, when in reality they should be using that same money, all that same grant stuff to put into resources to give our young people stuff to do. But other things we doing is we gonna do some merch, some hoodies, we gonna make some art. It's gonna be a little clothing. Our young boy Nino, he gonna pop out and take the lead on that. So I can't shout out to Nino. I can't wait to see like what his vision is for the future of our young people, for sure.
Because the beauty of it is lived experience is very important. Letting young folks know why lived experience, like things that you've been through, are not for you to be stuck in. It's not for you to wield in a way to take advantage. It's really a way for you to be able to make better decisions with the next thing, whether it's something you put yourself through And I tend to look at young people as not really being able to put themselves through anything. Whatever young people are going through, you got to remember the people before them created it.
Mm-hmm.
The block they stay on, the house that they're in, the car that they drive in, everything that a young person is doing or operating in, whatever, you created it. Mm-hmm. I love to tell y'all this because y'all irk me so much with the young kids, with young people being on the island, and it's not a thing where we're saying no accountability, no responsibility. It's the same thing we say overall as black folk. You're not going to just tell me that me as a black man did not live up to the mark when the system is clearly documented for saying they never want me to meet the mark.
Exactly.
So how can I be responsible, but they have no accountability for this? And it's the same thing we doing with our children. I guess they say it's kind of like the pimp hoe relationship. This is how a hoe is treated. To be honest, a hoe always going to try to prove to the pimp that she could be the best hoe. She's never going to be like, you know what? What, nigga? I can spend my own money.
Absolutely.
You understand what I'm saying? And I'm being very vulgar with it in that way, and because that's what we're allowing and we're teaching our children, and we're doing it to our children. We're doing both things. We're teaching them to be like this, and we are doing it to them. It's us that's doing it, because we're not acknowledging these actual things that's really happening. My elder, I love to say this. I'm gonna keep saying this because he made me put a lot of things in context on my way home. He said, "Yo, I know you want to go home. Everybody want to go home. But be prepared to be in an environment that created this environment that you want to get away from so bad. The place that you're going out to created prison. We weren't born in prison. Mm-hmm. There were people who came up with the idea of prison. And all of this thing that we hate so much that we want to go home from, the people out there you're going home to created this. It didn't just come up out of a vacuum. You feel what I'm saying? What's up with you, bro? You know what I mean?
I like the fact that you mentioned like being on their level, like not trying to disassociate from their culture and the things that they like. I think that's going to make your program really successful. That makes you more relatable to young kids. Like they don't want to see somebody that looks so far away from what they know. Mm-hmm. They can receive a message from somebody that talks like them, looks like them, even may have their same experience. It has the same experience as them. So
it's that lived experience thing. Like, you know, it's something that I learned when I came home too. Like, it's marketable. And you got to say it like that because everything in a capitalist society, you know, they turn into markets. So you having certain experiences is marketable. People will seek you out for having lived experience. Now, they might not give you the whole game because that's a part of capitalism too. You know, you got to be exploited. If you don't know, it's not our fault. If you don't know, it's not our fault. We're going to get this money off you. You see it in every industry, everything that you look up, from politics to entertainment. Folks take young green people, abuse them actually. And you know what I mean? When they could come in and say, oh, you have this skill set, we're going to show you how all of this goes. No, they don't do that. We don't do that in any industry. Why? Because capitalism has a psych that comes with it, a psychology that comes with it, that people are to be exploited 100%. On every level.
100%. Then it's almost that with our young people, it's like that tokenism. It's like, all right, we're going to pull up on these young kids. We're going to put them in this space. We're going to give them a couple $100. Not even that much. Maybe even $150 for their little service. And then be like, all right, but we're going to juice the shit out you. Everything we can get out you. You're going to pull this image. You're going to make whoever our grant funders is, whoever really going to get us maximum money. It's that capitalistic mindset where they like, all right, bet. We're going to do this, and once you're done, we're going to send you, we're going to replace you with another young bull. We're going to keep doing this, and then now we look woke. We look like we for the people, like we actually making moves, but in reality, they just meeting the meat and being a part of the issue. I think having our young people be at the center of the space and creating youth-centered spaces where our kids, our teenagers, our young adults can come together and have the main voice in that setting and be like, yo, this is what's happening to me right now. This is what happened to me in this system. This is what happened to me in my neighborhood. I don't like it. This is what I want to do. And then actually supporting them, walking with them and showing them like, all right, this is how you do it, versus taking their expertise, taking their experience, having them trauma dump in front of a bunch of randos, and then be like, all right, bet, here your little $100. Right. I'll hit you up next time I need you to be that black face for me.
And it's yo.
Yeah, that's deep. That's deep.
I like when they talk like that on PSA. I appreciate it. Because people be trying to word it different and all that. Like, I love you just gonna roll him out in front of a bunch of randos. Like, that's not trauma. Like, you're not playing with this baby right now. Talking about you trying to heal him. And it can become a very sick game because you know how children can be played to. And that's even more the reason why detentions need to stop, because we can show it without being fake about what we're showing you that's happening to these children. We don't have to roll out, put it on the website, make these little fake videos and all that. All the good shit they put on the grants, because the grants take videos and all that now.
Right.
You know what I mean? They take videos. You can put some bullshit together and it look real nice, you know, if that's how you get down. But 100%. the thing that I'm saying is, like it's being said right now, like, yo, make children the center. That's why I continue to be like, it's the adults' fault. If you 10 years older, 20 years older, 30 years older, it's your fault. The children are walking in the path that you created, whether you did it on purpose or not. And I very much believe if we know that we're doing things that babies can come about, then you need to be doing all the educating you can for what you're going to tell this baby in every moment. I'm tired of people talking about there's no playbook. Well, just read. Read for 9 months. Like, read like a motherfucker. Is your kid gonna ask you 1 + 1? Then read math shit. Is your kid gonna need to know how to use, child gonna need to know how to use technology? Are you gonna know how to use technology when this baby come to keep up with this baby? Because I get tired of people acting like the babies go get the tablets and get them out the box and set the motherfucker up, and then they be running around you. Look, he just love his little tablet. Fuck is you talking about? He love his little tablet. He too. You gave him the tablet. You set the motherfucker up. You put the batteries in it. You plugged it up until they figured that part out too, because they will figure that out. 100%. But I'm saying this to say, in real time, stop acting like y'all can't start studying a bunch of shit. Even if you want to do it soon as the person as soon as you find out, say, all right, I got 9 months. I need to read a whole. You ain't get your GED, get in a GED class, dickhead. Why would you not get your GED? You know you got some babies coming. That don't make sense to me. Shit like that don't make sense. I'm just being real. Like, that shit burns me the fuck up. Read a whole bunch of shit because you know you got a human being coming. You in charge of a young mind. It's going to be you. It's going to be you. That slid in between that girl legs and did what happens when babies are created. You did it. Now you need to do a whole bunch of reading because you got to take care of this young mind. So all of that is no playbook. Shut up. I don't want to hear that shit. You're not financially literate. You know you about to have a child. You're going to need to manage money so you and the baby can be taken care of. Go get some fucking literacy classes about money.
Or just literacy, because a lot of people can't read.
Yeah, that too. The reading statistics in Philadelphia are horrid. Horrid. That's trauma.
Yeah.
That's why we beating up on each other. We not comprehending shit. I'm saying one thing, you saying another thing.
Can't communicate. We can't communicate. That's real.
And I love you motherfuckers for real, bro, but I be seeing it all the time. It's basic shit. That's why we so big on critical thought. Yo, tell me some other stuff you got going on. Because you guys, when you be talking, we going different places. I can hear it. You don't got to say it like, nah, Britt been in a couple places. She talked to a couple people. You know what I'm saying? So give me some other things that, you know, that you just been involved in, some things you just wanna shout out that you know about. Like, give me some stuff outside of CNC. Give me a little bit on Britt. Like, what's going on out here?
For sure. So more on the personal aspect for me, I do painting. I'm a painter. You can check me out at Beatles Vision. So that's BETLE Vision, like, you know, Vision. On Insta. I got some shit dropping sometime in December. It's gonna be beautiful. I got some new art, rebranding my image. That's more so personally on my front, but outside, back to the community, cause that's where I reside. That's where my heart lies, in the Philadelphia community. I do some things with Philly Homes for Youth, so we get this coalition of people that our goal is to end youth homelessness in Philadelphia. So as you see, I'm big on ending shit. So I'm trying to end that youth homelessness and youth incarceration. Just creating a safe healing space for our people. So with Philly Homes for Youth, you can join that coalition. You can hit up Dave Fair. If I seen the email info, you put in the description. But yeah, it's a great coalition, great people. Also, I still rock with Juvenile Law Center to this day. I've been rocking with them since I was 17. I'm 25 now, so it's been a little minute.
Frontal lobe developed. You know
little minute. And like, even in those spaces, sorry JLC, but even in those spaces, there was moments where I felt that tokenism we talked about, where it's like, all right, is we really making this change, or are we actually, you just got me here so the company can just look a little bit better? They've been fixing and righting those wrongs as of late from what I've seen. So shout out to y'all for doing that, and just acknowledging that. Other things I do in the community, I'm a little steady in the music, the local music area. It's a lot of dope ass artists out here right now in Philadelphia, whether they're rappers, singers, painters, different forms of artists. So I'll be going to the open mics, I'll be pulling up to the spots, seeing what's up with the people. One of my main ultimate goals for me personally is to create a healing oasis in Philadelphia. My own nonprofit organization. I plan on actually launching that in 2028 because I gotta get that coin right too. Shit, absolutely. And within that space, that's really what everything I've been doing is planning to lead up to.
Right.
Like the work I do, the connections, the people I work with, whether I'm coming to chop it up with some young people at JJSC, or whether I'm about to hit up some young people in a community center or in the schools and talk about gun violence, talk about homelessness, or talk about just the juvenile justice and child welfare system. All those things, all those experiences is leading me to that healing space, because the whole hood got PTSD if we gonna keep it a buck. The whole hood, we go through shit, gunshots, seeing drug bags everywhere. That shit ain't normal. I know for me, I grew up in Philadelphia, North Philadelphia. I had some time in the Southwest as well, and I seen the same patterns. And I think this go back to what you said earlier. It's the fucking community, low key. They'll bitch and whine and complain and be like, oh, these kids different back in my day, X, Y, and Z. But it's like, all right, bro, what is you displaying to the kids? You got your corner boys doing that, 30-year-olds trying to put teenagers on and have them do their dirty work, then send them to the pen, and they get less time. I get it. We giving young people guns. The stimulus fucked a lot of niggas up with that. And I just feel like the community, we showing them, like, how can I put it? I ain't even gonna try to reword my words to make it sound a little more PC. Fuck that shit. A lot of these people, they got the sexy reds. I fuck with Dirk heavy, but we got Dirk and drill rap and all this other stuff misguiding the minds. You showing our youth, you showing our community, all right, this is okay. If you want to get the Balenci's, if you want to get X, Y, and Z, you need to go sell these drugs. You need to catch a body. You need to spin and spin again. That's literally lyrics from a song, right? And it's like, the community, I roll up on a block and I see everything people complain about. And I've been seeing this shit since I grew up in Philadelphia. And I wonder to myself, all right, at what point is we going to transition out? At what point is we going to look at ourselves? Because, yeah, the government already got things in place to keep us down. But we got to a space in society, especially in 2024, where a lot of niggas is doing exactly what the system designed them to do. They playing that role so well that the government, they don't even got to intervene like they used to. They don't even got to pull up. And our young boys, they're sponges. So, again, I don't blame no kid for anything they do, personally, because if the upbringing, if the time isn't right, if their influences is all one particular thing, then that's all they going to know. I think a lot of people forget about teenagers is they experience everything for the first time. So if these experiences continue, it's normalized. And they like, oh, that's just how life is. That's how it was. Seeing people dead, seeing people strung out, I was like, oh, that's just life. That's how shit is, until I stepped out and stepped into a different space. And I realized, I was like, yo, this shit ain't normal. I'm not normal. What am I going to do within myself and within my community to transition these feelings and these thoughts? So, yeah, I be doing a lot. But my overarching goal is to create that healing oasis, heal my people. And that's going to be in multiple forms. That's going to be in, like, I believe in therapeutic healing versus therapy. I feel like therapy was created for white folks. It's not for us. I participated in therapy myself. I spoke with a lot of people that participated. I went to school for psych. I studied in it. So I know that is not working for us. So I want to rewire the image of mental health services therapy in the Black and brown community, because, like, when you ever told somebody, like, oh, I'm feeling this, I'm depressed, and they're like, no, nigga, you crazy, fuck you talking about type shit. And the reality is, we need to create a space where our people can take that mask off and talk about that real shit that's happening within us, around us, and what's really going on in our community. So that's going to be music therapy, that's going to be art therapy, that's going to be a raised room where you need to just go somewhere, get your shit off real quick. It's going to be a lot of things, but yeah, 2028. Yoga, listen,
all day.
I'm gonna
day.
spin the block on you for sure.
Nah, and that's the thing. I lean towards that. I will always tell people I understand what you're saying about therapy. It was the whole drive to like, if we're gonna do this, then we need to have black people doing it who understand racism, who understand, who are African centered. Like, not just understand this, but participate in this activity of blackness.
Absolutely.
Every day. So when you come in here, that's what I'm getting. I'm getting all of the school stuff, but I'm getting a real live education on where we come from, identity, how that plays out in our stress that makes it different than anybody else's. So I understand that part when you say it's European, because to be honest, I maintain my sanity with those things. Group walking around the track talking to my brothers.
Absolutely.
Nobody was a psych. And we was going through real shit, and niggas I really know what it feel like to be like on the brink, like your sanity is slipping. Like seriously, that's a weird thing to even explain to somebody, but I know what it feel like to be like on the brink of that. Like, is it falling apart? Like, are you gonna be the same after today? After these feelings, after this moment? So I know what that feel like. So, and I know the things that kept me from losing it was getting back with how I ate. You know what I'm saying? Doing the art therapy, watching spoken word, doing spoken word, writing poems. You know what I'm saying? In the whole writing poems. Keeping my motherfucking brain together though. Being able to walk the track with my brothers and have these vulnerable conversations with other men. Multiple men having an opinion, having that group therapy. And shout out to my brother Stan. Every other Thursday do Black Men's Grief group on Reentry Community Farm, 49th and Girard. Come out, we do fireside chats and all that. We got an event going on October 19th. October 19th. We have a white guy coming from Alaska to tell us about, we do a lot of stuff around environmental justice issues on the farm, the Healing Station, PSA. We do a lot of stuff, Good Energy Collaborative, Swarthmore College, a lot of other organizations that are a part of that. But we're bringing this guy here to explain what is the environmental connection with what's happening in Alaska and what's happening in Pennsylvania. And we really need to be looking at environmental struggles from a lot of different ways. And the reason why I think that this is important, because when I was in prison, fracking was this big ass thing in PA. Folks in Philly ain't know shit about it. Like literally asking people like, you know what fracking is? They got all of this money, all of these people coming from Texas, Louisiana, going to Pittsburgh. They building sky rises, hotels, all of this shit, rebuilding fucking Pittsburgh behind this, around this. And the other end, we don't know nothing going on. This is going on from central PA all the way over, all of this money coming in. But then also what does fracking do to the environment? What is the runoff of southeastern PA on whatever y'all doing in central and western PA? What is the result of that? And black folk didn't know nothing about it. And it was like, damn, I'm telling you about something, I'm in prison. Because all around me, these are the jobs they chasing right now. This is what's in the news right now. So I'm only explaining that as a connection of that earthquake we had. Remember that earthquake? The earthquakes we don't have in Philly? Fracking causes those things. So how do we know that earthquake that is not an environmental event that we are used to didn't happen because they were fracking in central PA? How do you know that? So the whole connection with the brother coming on and what's up with you, bro? When I'm coming out Baltimore, man, I guess that's me. Not y'all, my bad. I'm trying to blame you for something that you ain't had nothing to do with. But yo, shout out to my brothers, man. The Melvin Air podcast, bro. That's my gang. They let me be on there a couple times, yell, scream at the camera, all that good shit. I appreciate it. But again, October 19th, Reentry Community Farm, 49th and Girard. We are having a fireside chat event. We're bringing an environmental justice person from Alaska to explain the connections, and we can talk more and more about environmental justice and the needs. Like right now, we have issues in Chester. Most likely I'm going to DC tomorrow because they don't want the state to take over their water system because of all the waste dumping that goes on in Chester by corporations. A lot of Philadelphians don't know that Chester is a waste zone. Seriously. Folks is being dumped. Nah, but I'm saying, motherfuckers is being dumped on like in a real way. I know we can talk our shit because this is somebody that borders us and is like, it's not Philly. You guys is cool. And I shout out to my man B.I. because I know he gonna have something to say about this because he from Chester. That's my gang. That's my gang right there. But tomorrow, they having a rally to try to get Shapiro to deal with their water system in a different way. I'm not even going to make a whole bunch of stuff up, but I know the water system and what's going on has a lot to do with the waste dumping that's going on, and they don't think that the state, if I got the issue correct, they don't think the state should be the one running their water system. I'm assuming they got some other ideas, and then normally what the state does in these type of the state is never the one who actually will run it. They'll get some other agency to do it for the state. Like they'll contract somebody to run this shit, and it'll be said that it's state ran. So probably somebody in somebody's office got a cousin that does some type of consulting around water, and they'll give them the fucking contract to fuck up the water system in Chester even more under the state's name. And then when shit go down, they'll be like, it wasn't us, it was the state.
Right.
It wasn't us. And the state was like, it wasn't us, we contracted them. Like, damn, nothing's gonna happen. No. So that's what I'm doing tomorrow. Environmental justice is very important to what we are doing out here. People need to understand. So October 19th, come get this information. Are you gonna be there? I'm putting pressure on you.
Oh, I'm pulling up.
I'm gonna send you the flyer. The flyer is real dope. Shout out to the students of Swarthmore, because I thought Carlita did it, and if Carlita didn't do it, one of the students from Swarthmore did it. It's a dope joint. Yeah, shout out to the students. They real environmental justice revolutionaries. Mm-hmm. These little white kids and Asian kids, it's like, yo, we not like these other people. Like the one dude, I went to a meeting, and the little bro, he from Japan, Shintaro. I know I didn't mess it up. I get it right, Shintaro. He was like, man, at the end of the day, we all carbon, bro. We gotta figure out how to live on this joint together. I'm like, damn, nigga told me I was just carbon. Fuck out of here, nigga. I'm black side now. But listen, let the people know some other stuff, man. Why do you do what you do? I kind of felt like you said that already, but give them a concise joint of why do Britt come out here talking about she gonna run for politics at some point?
Oh yeah,
we can talk about that the next show. But drop a couple jobs
for sure. I think I do everything I do because I grew up in Philly. I lived here for as long as I can remember, and after a while, you keep seeing the same problems recycle themselves. You see the government's getting worse. The police system getting worse. Our young kids is gaining too much influence to the point where they think can't nobody tell them nothing. And some would say that's every generation. Again, I'm 25, so just a couple years ago they was talking that same shit about mine. But to look at our people and be like, all right, when are we gonna stop playing into the government and society's hands? You know what I mean? At what point are we gonna come together, organize as one? I feel like it's been many times where we have, we got Malcolm, we got Martin Luther King, we got the boycott of the buses and all that. There's moments where we pulled up and was like, yo, knock that shit off. This is what we about to do. But if you notice, I feel like after the Black Panthers, when the FBI really did they big raid, COINTELPRO, when they did they raid and they took out Fred, RIP to the GOAT. After that, a lot of Black liberation died out, right? A lot of our people was like maybe a little scared, maybe a little to the point where it's like this shit is hopeless. And I know it's been many times within myself where I'm like, yo, these shit. It's
all gravy, that's a joint to let us know we gotta get the fuck out of here.
And then you have that moment where you think, yo, this shit hopeless. Like, and then you realize like it's not though. We just need to come together. We need to figure this shit out. So I do everything I do because I see an overall vision of where our people belong. We the first motherfuckers that ever touched this earth. I don't care what nobody say. The scientists, everybody know that math. We started this shit. If we talking specifically to America, we built this shit. Everything, tables, mics, Black inventors created all of that. Down to the super soaker in summertime, right? So when you think about like where our minds is at, what we've been doing, how we influence pop culture, the media, music, film, us just being ourselves is literally what carries this society and keep shit lit, right? So at what point is we gonna acknowledge our worth? Be like, yo, we're the ones in power, low key. But we can't get there because we won't come together. So my whole goal is to bring the people together no matter what way we can, whether that's like by intellect, by fun shit, or just by maybe force a little bit. Maybe because sometimes you gotta check somebody and tell them like, what the fuck you on for real, and like have them conversations. But I do everything I do. I grew up in North Philly, partially in Southwest as well, and I seen people die. I know me personally, my friends, maybe the niggas I came up with, only like 2-3 of us actually came up type shit. So I might run down and be down K&A. I might see some homies. I'd be like, damn, Fred, yo, he used to be the man. And then I look at him and be like, yo, what happened? But I know what happened. When you keep dealing with, and I think our communities, we don't just deal with trauma. It's perpetual community trauma where we get to a point where we can't address the previous issue because it's constantly issues arising, whether it's from us or from them. It just keep building up, so we never have that space where we can actually come together and be like, yo, how we gonna move through this? So I seen a lot. Shit, I did a lot. I was a part of the problem at one point. I ain't gonna lie. And when I learned from all those experiences is like, I want us to be at the top. I want, like me personally, I plan to go into politics. Cause something else I noticed is you can't actually. We need people in office making moves. Cause a lot of people, we be like, go vote, go do this. The vote ain't the end all be all. That's number one. Half these politicians ain't here to save us. They not here to support us. They'll tell us the lies we want to hear. They get that, get that little press the button, get them in office, and then soon we watched it with Sherelle. Soon as it happened, the switch up was immense. And you're like, oh, okay, that's what we doing.
That's how it works.
So I feel like we need people on the ground, we need people in the office, and we need the people that's making our entertainment, making our music, making our films to all be on one accord, be on the same page. And I feel like I may or may not be the person to get us there.
Nah, we gonna be the people to get us there. Listen,
Absolutely.
Definitely coming back. We got a lot of things that we gonna be doing together. You're gonna definitely see this face moving around. And the Healing Station is a place where we can get some of that art oasis, that healing oasis,
Absolutely.
all spoken word, all of that. I'm not gonna take up all the time. This is PSA Philly Service Announcement. Takeover Tuesday, Takeover Love, Support, Grace, Social Activism, Resource, and Art. Shout out to Miles. Shout out to Queen, Raw Cannon. All my people. I love black people.